This is from ESPN.com. One last offseason move for each and every one of the 32 teams in the NFL. And for the Browns, it's not a big surprise. They say they need to resolve the situation with quarterback Baker Mayfield. Cleveland's best path to trading is to eat a hefty portion of the salary. And while the Browns are in a steady position in salary cap-wise this year, Mayfield seems untenable, and any cap savings in a trade would be useful in future roster maneuvers. There was some talk about potentially the Seahawks. What are your thoughts about the Baker Mayfield situation and trading him and moving on from him?
I think that it's heating up. I wrote about it on Dog Pound Daily. It came out this morning. To elaborate a little bit more, they have someone who finally wants him, it seems. I think that the Seahawks went into their mini camps with Drew Lock and Geno Smith, and then Pete Carroll saw that and was like, what's another option for us? And they were not going to get Jimmy Garoppolo within the division. Baker Mayfield, I think, would fit perfectly in Seattle. I think it would give him a restart, give the franchise a restart after trading Russell Wilson. There was talks that the Browns were willing to eat up to $9 or $10 million of that. So that would be that isn't what we thought at the beginning of all this, but that is where we're at now. And the Seahawks are actually talking about extending him, possibly. So that was an interesting thing that came out of yesterday, with Justin Anderson reporting that.
Yeah, the thought being that at least that way it's not a one-and-done kind of deal. You could at least see, can you develop him? Can he learn your system? What about the fit? Do you think the fit is pretty good in Seattle? What do you think works for him? And Pete Carroll, do he and Pete Carroll seem to be the type that would mesh as quarterback and head coach?
I think they would mesh well together because he's the complete opposite of what Russell Wilson was. Baker wears his emotions on his sleeve. Russell Wilson did not do that as much. He got animated at times like every other player does. But I think that Baker and Pete Carroll are a perfect match for one another. They're both trying to restore themselves in the league. Pete Carroll without Russell Wilson for the first time in many years. Baker without the Browns for the first time in all of his 4-year career. So I think this would be a great fit, and I think that the team around him and what the team does is good. They run the ball a lot like the Browns do. They do have two dynamic receivers in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They also have Noah Fant, who I think is going to be big for whoever is the quarterback there. He came over in the Wilson trade. I think this offense suits him well, and I think he's going to be put in positions where he's not going to have to necessarily throw the ball 40 times a game for them to win unless they get down early. Then they have to abandon the run.
Yeah, the other thing is that crowd out in Seattle gets wild, and we know, like you said, Baker plays on emotion. So that would also seem to be a pretty good fit for Mayfield.
Yeah, I think he would love the 12th man out there once they rally behind him, and once he has that first, touchdown drive or the game-winning drive or makes a huge play. I think he would love that and feed off that, and I think it's a match made in heaven, and I think this is where they go. I don't think the Panthers are an option anymore. They only want to eat about $4 or $5 million of that cap, and I do not think that's going to happen.